Here we are. Yay! I'm so freaking excited. So, as you all know, I haven't done one of these. It's been a very long time, a couple of months since I did an interview, and I am super, super excited to have Michelle join us today. She is the magic behind Yes, Michelle Crochets. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Yes Michelle, and the reason that my channel is called Yes Michelle is quite simply, first of all, my name is Michelle. The easiest part to explain is that. The hardest part to explain is the yes. And the reason behind yes is because you don't say no to me. You just don't.
Okay.
I'm literally the leader of my household. I am the alpha of my pups, and I'm a single mom. So as such, I don't have anyone else to have a discussion with when the decision has to be made. I make the decision. I will let them know the monarchy has spoken. Royalty has allowed you to do such. And this is why I am Yes Michelle.
I used to tell my kids, this is not a democracy. This is a monarchy.
Adjust our crown and we shall move.
That's right. That's right. I'm really, really, really happy that you agreed to join me tonight because I'm super, super excited.
Honored. I am so honored to be able to sit down with you because believe me, from the first moment I saw you, I said, I want to know her. I want to know her. So yes, this is absolutely what I want. Yes.
Yes. Well, in my mind right now, I am picturing me being right there on your porch with you because
I got a rocket chair right here for you.
Girl, don't play with my emotions like that now, because
I'm so dead and serious that not only is there one right here, there's one in the house. If you didn't want to sit in a cloth chair, you want a wood chair, I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Like at 5 o'clock in the morning when the crickets are chirping and it's just beautiful outside. I love that time of day. If you guys have not, I'm going to link Michelle's channel in the description. Go watch her early morning videos. Oh my goodness. To me, that's the best time of day anyways, because it's peaceful. It's beautiful. It's very serene. The day hasn't started yet. The electricity in the air hasn't gotten going yet, except for the crickets. They're pretty electric. But it's a wonderful, very calming. I love my days start early. I am definitely a morning person, so it makes me happy.
Here's what's hilarious. I was not a morning person until I had my son. And honestly, I became a morning person because he was a never stop person. My son has autism and he has severe ADHD. As such, especially undiagnosed and unmedicated, this young man did not sleep more than 20 minutes a day.
Ouch.
You can, and the more you lack sleep, the worse you get.
Yes.
For 4 years, I experienced that. So I learned that for me, that 20-minute nap included me bear hugging him to hold him still. So if that motor woke up, I was woke. When we got him on a medication and a cocktail that worked, he got up early in the morning still. So I just got accustomed to getting up in the morning. I've been a morning person ever since.
Yes. As I remember, I was a single mom as well. And I remember intentionally waking up. I don't like to be rushed in the mornings. It sets my whole day off and my attitude gets jacked up. So I will intentionally wake up a couple hours early before I have to do anything just so that I have time to process. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying those videos. Y'all need to check it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Michelle, how old were you when you started crocheting?
I was actually 30, about to turn 31. And I have to explain this because this is nobody does this. I promise you. I was in college at the age of 18 and I got the flu. All my friends are going out on the weekends and having a great time, and I can't take this flu. I don't have a cold, I have the flu. So one of my good friends on the floor, I said, hey, can you run by Walmart and pick me up a skein of yarn, a set of knitting needles, and a learn to knit book? I didn't know how, and I wanted to learn. She's like, yeah, I'll ask my mom what to get. My mom's a knitter. Perfect. She brings these things back, drops them off, hangs the bag on the door, leaves. I grab the book, I study it like it is the new, mecca. I got to do this because I'm that girl. If it's a puzzle, I got to get it. So I learned how to knit, and I'm good at it. I love knitting. So I end up becoming a mom after an infant loss. I had a stillborn, and the doctor said I couldn't get pregnant. Well, guess what? Yeah, so much for that. So much for that. So I'm now on bed rest and told, other than driving to doctor's appointments, and every other week they give me permission to go to the grocery store. Mind you, I'm still a single mom. I am on bed rest. I am not to get up. I'm allowed out of bed 20 minutes a day. And that's just to prepare a meal, go to the bathroom, get back in the bed. They don't want me moving because they don't know what happened. So my excursion out to the doctor, I pick up a skein of yarn, a crochet hook. I couldn't find a book. So I'm sitting here playing with this yarn, and I'm trying to do all these things, and it's not working. Eventually it does though. Eventually I figure out how to turn this chain into a fabric, and I promise you, I have no idea where that blanket is, but I made a blanket.
So wait a minute.
After that,
you literally taught your own self how to crochet.
yes.
No book,
Yes.
no teacher.
There was no internet. There was no internet. I had internet, but we didn't have YouTube. There wasn't Google. I'm going to show you how old I am. I remember Bonzi Buddy. Bonzi Buddy was the character to teach people how to use the internet. It was this purple gorilla and Ask Jeeves. Those were the two things that were around at the time. I'm telling people, when I say that I lived for a dictionary and an encyclopedia and a thesaurus, I'm that girl. Second cousin to Batgirl. This is what I did. So I didn't understand what I was doing with crochet. And probably a year after I started fumbling with yarn, I found a Learn to Crochet book. So then I went back and said, okay, so what I've been doing is actually a half double crochet. Had no idea that was what I was doing. And it is my favorite stitch.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how I learned, and it morphed from there. I'm that girl who learns from books first and then backtracks and figures it out from other sources. I happened because I think I was sitting outside one day, and an elderly neighbor mentioned to me that she wanted to know what I was doing because I have a shopping issue. Yes, I admit it. So I might have had a little yarn in my trunk. And by a little yarn, I mean, I had to tie the trunk down on my car. I got a good deal, so I bought a lot of yarn. So she goes, what are you doing with all that yarn? And I said, it was cheap. She goes, that's not an explanation. What are you doing? I said, I crochet. And she said, so do I. And then she invited me into her home. And she had dolls that were as tall as I am that had dresses that she'd made. She had, you may or may not remember, toilet cozies that had the doll in them, that had the big poofy dresses. Oh, she made all of those. All of those.
Do you know how bad I wanted to do one of those? Just because. Like, they're not even a thing anymore, but I just wanted.
They're coming back.
Stop. Really?
Okay, macrame came back.
Well, that's true. I don't think macrame ever actually went away, though.
It did. It did.
Well, not for me.
It did. That those of us who just do not care about the rules, it didn't go for us.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Those of us that make these things, we don't let go of what we love.
Well, this
is
true.
Like now, all the stuffies that we call stuffies, now everybody calls it amigurumi. I still won't make it.
I love them.
Still won't make it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You can have it. You can have it. I'll make you a sweater, a poncho, a blanket.
I don't like the plushy type, the big fat yarns. I don't like those.
No. That just makes it worse.
I don't, to each his own.
There's no stitch definition. There's no stitch definition, and that's probably what your issue is. I made a poncho for myself out of that plushy yarn and detested it. Turned around, made the exact same poncho for one of my besties, who is the tiniest lady on the planet. And she loves it. She loves it. Like, she has it hanging in her laundry space. And if she has to walk the dog and it's a little pool, she throws it on. I'm like, it's going to be 90 degrees today. She goes, I don't care. You made this. I look amazing. And then I made her a hat to match. Well, it's a beret, but I had to
Okay,
make her a hat to match.
that's
So yeah, she
cute.
has all the things. She has all the things.
That is awesome. So do you design your own patterns?
Actually, no, but I am notorious for seeing something one way and turning it on its side.
Okay.
So, like, if you tell me that this is going to be done with this series of stitches, I might try it that way. I can't promise you it's going to stay that way because no.
License. Creative
It's
license.
a recipe. It's a recipe.
Yes, and I agree. I agree. It's overall, but you know, you got to put your own spices in it.
Exactly. And I happen to be allergic to chicken. So I gotta find a different thing to stick in the pot.
So what you're telling
And,
me
and,
is you're
and
not
shrimp
being
is
safe,
okay.
right?
Shrimp is okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, okay, I just want a brief recap real quick. You taught yourself how to knit first with a book. Then you taught
Yes.
yourself how to crochet with nothing.
With
Just
nothing.
figuring it out. That's
Yes.
awesome, by the way. Wow. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I
But
tell people this and they're like, she's not telling the truth, but I so am. I
can
am. When
see how that could happen though. Boredom alone. Boredom alone. Like, let
I
me figure
created
out.
my own puzzle. I created
Like
my
that.
own puzzle.
I love
And the one beauty of yarn is at the time it's not as cheap as it was, but it was pretty cheap. I think I spent $3.99 for a jumbo skein of red hard yarn.
See, that's not bad. I got a whole bunch of
No,
that over here. A whole bunch. Look, I'm balling on a budget. Don't get me wrong. I like the more expensive stuff because I have tried
oh, I love
different
the
things.
boosh.
But I'm just saying, I'm balling on a budget.
What's your favorite budget yarn?
My favorite budget yarn has got to be Premier. I love Premier yarns. Love Premier yarns. You too?
But you know what? My favorite workhorse yarn is probably Karen 1 pound
I've
because
never
I'm
tried.
that. Now here's why. I love a dense, thick, heavy yarn.
Okay.
It's a little stiffer. It's not stiff like Red Heart. Like Red Heart is stiff, itchy.
Yes, it is.
This is soft, not as soft as Premier,
Okay.
but it's thicker than Premier. Like I don't know where you are, but Premier just rolled out 1 pound skeins of yarn into Dollar Tree.
Into Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, $5 a skein for a 1 pound skein. Yes, ma'am. Do I need to hook you up?
Oh, I'm gonna hook myself up.
Have you looked at my community page? Literally, if you look at my community page, there are 2 sets of pictures of extreme yarn issues. One is where Joanne had the 4 different colors of Karen 1 pound on sale for $4.80 a skein, and then Dollar Tree has those $5 balls of Premier Just Yarn, and that's
Wow.
literally what it's called, Just Yarn. It's so squishy, but it's thinner. And honestly, to me, it reminds me of Big Twist.
Not tried that either. See, I'm relatively new to the whole crochet.
Really?
And I'm
But you're
sorry.
so talented.
I got it from my
your
sis.
gift.
I got
It's
it from
your
my
gift.
sis.
There you go.
Yeah,
Come
so
on
I'm
home,
still
darling. Sit on
trying
the
new
porch.
yarns and all of this. I don't know, because for a while I was really into not necessarily making amigurumi. I like to design them. I love designing amigurumi because I found, and this is just me, and I'm going to ask you how you do, because I know you've made ponchos, you've made hats. You know what? Let me do that first. What is your favorite thing to make? What do you feel drawn to make the most?
I don't know that there's anything that just says I have to make it because I guess you would have to say I'm a Renaissance person. I make what I need.
Okay.
I feel like if the apocalypse happened tomorrow, I can cook anything. I can barter and trade because I can sell an ice. I can sell
ice to an Eskimo.
That's me. That's me.
I love it.
And if I need anything, I can make anything. Whether it's a blanket for my bed, a jacket to wear outside, a head covering. I've even crocheted mittens. I remember distinctly my son coming home having lost yet the 3rd pair of gloves that week. And I had, some high weight yarn sitting in my closet. I pulled it out I said, okay, tomorrow morning he has to have a hat, a scarf, and gloves to go out the door. I can't make gloves, but I can make mittens. And I went to it.
Wow.
I went to sleep at about 11:45 that night, but when he got up the next morning, and and of course I did have to, speak in royal fashion as mothers do, and let him know, you will come home with these. You will come home with these. And
yes.
He did. And he had them for another year till his hands were too big.
All he can say is, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know you stay away from amigurumi. Is there a reason why you stay away from amigurumi?
It just creeps me out, to be very.
What do you mean?
Cannot explain that to anyone in a way that makes sense. The idea, to me, toys have personality, like real persons. And you want me to create that? No, I'm not giving those life. Sorry. No. So yeah, like some people are afraid of spiders. I'm not afraid of amigurumi, but I just know.
It's a creep factor.
And if you think about it, if you're trying to make a frog, it needs to look like a frog. There is no room for your individuality and creativity other than color. And I need more than that.
Right.
I need more than that. So it doesn't lend itself to my expression. And the other thing that I will never make, and I said this in a video, I will never, ever make crochet pants.
Me either.
The 70s ruined that for me.
You know why? Because my legs are entirely too thick. I would start a fire with the friction. No.
Marty.
No.
That's not it. That's not it. I'm going to ruin it for you. I'm going to shut the door for you. You ready? Men.
What about it?
Put men in crochet pants.
No.
Now, we have some men who love to go commando in a pair of crochet pants. No, ma'am. No, thank you. And yes, I said it. This is why I'll never make it.
Yes, the visual.
For those of your audience who are a little more reserved and proper, there is this royal being
reality.
Yes, there are some things I just don't need to see.
Amen.
And that's why I'm not going to be a participant in that skate. That's not it.
I feel that on a very deep level. See, I hadn't even considered the male aspect of it. I hadn't. I've been single for so long. Like, I don't even think about that kind of thing. And I know my boys wouldn't wear that. Like, I have a hard time getting them to wear sweaters that I make. Like, no, right?
I think my son would wear a sweater if I made him one. I've never made him one. And I've never made him one simply because I do enough making him blankets.
Yeah.
And then having him tell me, 6 months, 9 months later, oh, by the way, Mom, this has a hole in it, because he washes everything so aggressively, which I'm grateful for.
That's right.
I mean, it's clean, but yeah, it's still fabric. And yeah, you cannot, this is not metal. It doesn't give to you that way. And his hot trend is, well, she'll just make me another one. It's like his most recent blanket is Sock Monkey. And we had a conversation. Do not kill Sock Monkey. It's just, it's a granny square rectangle blanket, but it's in Sock Monkey color, so it got the name Sock Monkey.
See, I think that's awesome. I personally have a hard time with blankets. Not because I don't enjoy making them. I get bored really freaking easy, which is why I enjoy creating amigurumi. I like designing them because every row is different. It's in and out and shaping and doing different things, and I love that. But you have to be mentally astute in order to do that. And there are times when I want to crochet, but I can't. I don't have the mental fortitude to actually do it. So that's when I work on blankets and stuff. I like the immediate gratification of doing amigurumi because they're quick, they're easy. Well, some of them are easy. The ones I design aren't generally easy because I'm, weird like that. But I like that you can start a project and usually finish it within a day. Whereas when you make a blanket, and I don't crochet fast, period. It takes me forever.
Really?
Forever, yeah. I do not crochet fast. Not at all.
I don't think I'm fast. Others say I'm fast. I don't believe
you made a hat and mittens in one night.
Okay.
Okay, that would have taken me 3 days.
That's like your amigurumi. They don't take very long. You just do fat hooks, fat stitches. And that's how you make it. You make it big, you make it fluffy, and you're done. This has taken me some time.
I saw you were working on that this morning. Is that the
This
one?
is, yes, this is the blanket, and you'll notice that it has words. It's huge. It's huge. I
What does it
cannot.
say?
It says, in fact, I have to look it up because it literally is one row at a time. It says, "Here's to love, laughter, and happily ever after." And
Oh,
each side has those hearts that you see right there. I don't know
yeah.
if you see that. Yeah. And the top border and the bottom border are diamond rings that cross over each other.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah. I bought this pattern on Etsy. I did not design this. Is not an original to me, but I want to show you something because as a designer, I want you to never do this to somebody because they won't like you. I'm going to show you just a little bit of this pattern, and it's just one bit of it. Notice how all you see are, can you see that? Or here, is that better?
wow, wow.
Yeah, that is not
There is
cool.
ways to condense that.
Yeah, it's called single stitch, type SC 7, and then put real words in between. So I'm not sitting here counting and then counting back because it's 199 stitches per row. And the beginning and the end are the same, but the middle, my darling. Woohoo! Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm almost done with this one, but here's the twist. This is the second. I took a break from number 1 because this one is due a week from Saturday. Number 2 isn't due until the second week of October. And I'm like 80% done with that one. I have half of the next to the second row of words, and then that first row of words and the top part to finish on that, and I'll be done with that one as well. But I had to know if I could do it, because if I couldn't, I needed to course correct and find something else that I could make for this particular couple. The other couple has no idea they're getting anything. So it doesn't matter if I, decided to abandon that and do something completely different or purchase them something.
Right.
But this couple, there's something really special about them. So I wanted to hand make something for them. So this is what I wanted to do. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. It's a test of my ability to stay committed to somebody else's pattern. And so far, I'm succeeding.
You are succeeding. Because you said you had to rip out how many and then redo it all? Girl.
Yes. I had to rip out rows and rows and rows because I was halfway through the word "here's" and I see this bar of yarn that doesn't match. And I'm like, nope. And yes, I sat there and looked at it like, could I ignore that? They would have still appreciated the blanket, but it's not a representation of me that I wanted out there.
That's right.
So I course corrected, and it's funny that video, that discussion that morning where I'm literally sitting with that in my head, and I'm like, and now I have to go and have a conversation with my audience about how course correction is okay.
It is.
How it is okay. It doesn't matter how much time you've invested in it.
No, because it's
okay to suddenly abandon it and do something different.
That's right.
Because the next step may just be your best step.
That's right. And sometimes, you think about when you are taking a road trip, right? Sometimes there is construction and detours and all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean the road trip is over. You just kind of, you're obviously not going down that road, so you just kind of go around and you do what you need to do.
Exactly. I think for me, it's one of those things. I remember, I think I was in my early 20s and someone said to me, Michelle, be grateful for unseen blessings.
That's right.
And I was really having like the worst pity party because I didn't have the best upbringing. I grew up in a very toxic environment. Physical and mental abuse is the fabric that I, surfaced from. So I was like, ooh, when I say it was not a nice experience to know me, it wasn't. But she said, Michelle, be grateful for everything that has happened to you to date. And I'm like, you got to be sick out of your head. What are you talking about? She said, Michelle, for everything you survived, somebody didn't. For every negative word that was spoken to you, you have surpassed whatever they said you couldn't do. You have overcome everything that they intended to be negative and to hurt you. You've gotten beyond that and you went through it for a reason. And I'm like, and the reason is because I'm still waiting.
You sure didn't feel very blessing like.
That part. She said, because there will come a day. She said, and I pray I know you when it happens, where you will be someone else's guide through getting through what you've been through. And I looked at her like, lady, do you have any idea how stupid you sound to me right now? And bless her heart, she was so patient with me. She said, sure, I sound stupid to you. And she goes, and when you're ready, I'm going to tell you why I know that. It took 5 years for her to tell me that she grew up with her mother being an alcoholic and being tired of being a parent. She was number 7 of 9 kids. Her mom put her in a garbage can and left. Yeah, she had a rough upcoming, and she survived it all. Had a husband who set her up in a beautiful home, and then went out and created a whole nother family and left her with her 2 kids and debt so far up that it wasn't even funny. So yeah, she was telling me that the reason that I resonated with her was because she had been through most of what I'd been through and probably worse. And she was such a beautiful soul. Such a beautiful soul. Always peaceful, always gentle, always kind. And I never understood her peace until my paradigm shift. And when my paradigm shift happened, I no longer spoke loudly. Oh, I have a voice that could definitely, you can hear me on the other side of the river. So yeah, I can be loud, I can be aggressive, I can be horrible. It's within me. I don't choose to show it. I don't need to.
That's right.
That's not, I don't need to give you my ugly. I can give you my beauty. And hopefully my beauty waters enough of your dry soul that you're moisturized enough to moisturize somebody else.
I love that.
I love you. I love you. You've watched my videos. Those of your audience who haven't don't know that one of the things I do in every video is say I love you. And I do it because each of us today woke up. Some people didn't.
That's right.
Some people didn't simply because it was their time. Some people didn't wake up because they chose not to wake up. And that scares me to no end, because I suffer from depression. And I know there are times that the dark spaces in my head say enough. And I refuse. I refuse because I know where those voices come from. I don't have to answer because I'm Yes Michelle, and Yes Michelle says no to them. I can say yes to me.
Yes. You want to say hi? Rusty.
Baby.
This is Rusty. This is Rusty.
Well,
his little girlfriend. We call the groomer, the girl that does his groomer, like his feet and gives him a bath. He really likes the Rusty. So we tease him and say, we're going to go see your girlfriend. We're talking about the groomer.
See, now, neither one of my boys like the groomer. And one thing I don't do, and this is just something that is born out of my experience with my 2 children. Both of my kids still live with me. One is 33, and my son is 22. He'll be 23 in a few months. When I said, and this started over a year ago, I mentioned, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel. My daughter said, okay, I can see that. But if I'm on camera, we got a problem. I said, no problem. So as it got closer to actually happening, I sat down with my son and I said, what do you think about this? And he said, no, I don't want my name out there. I don't want my image out there. I don't want to be on camera. And I told them, listen, that's totally okay. I will never say your name.
That's right.
And I thought about, okay, well, what about showing my animals? I said, no. I said, no for me, simply because to see them is to see my son, because he's always with my animals. And I just couldn't. I couldn't. So I never say their names, but I will talk about them like dogs, because they're dogs. They are. My older dog he has seizures. So in addition to, And he has an allergy to chicken. So it's funny. He had the allergy first, and then I slowly
Stop it.
started discovering I couldn't eat chicken. And I said, now this is crazy. This is crazy. My previous dog was an elopement risk. Early in my son's journey through autism, he had issues being an elopement risk. Like there was never a chance that you couldn't have a hand on him because he'd run. Same thing with our dog. So it's funny.
He's the only dog I've ever had that I have to use a leash with. Every other dog I've ever had stays with me. He is gone. He'll come back in a couple hours, but he is definitely a runner.
Oh no, the other one, no, he wanted to be chased. He wanted to be chased. And I have never known a Labrador Akita mix that was bougie. Oh, he was bougie. He was prim and proper. He sat on the top stairs, crossed his paws, and looked, literally, he had nothing for you. You were peasants, you know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. He was my guy.
Do dogs go into your yarn?
No. Correction. The younger one, the smaller one, yes. He did eat some yarn. And we didn't know that he had eaten the yarn.
Ooh.
But all of a sudden he was having digestive issues. So I took him to the vet. $450 later, we found that he had a 24-inch string of very good yarn that they had removed from him. And literally, it was a little piece hanging out of his rear end. So they extracted it just that way.
Yep. My brother's dog was like that. Oh, my poor baby. His name was Batman. The kids, my nephews named him. He was an awesome dog, though. He was big. He was a lab, and he was huge. But he was the sweetest dog. Like, amazing. He was awesome.
Oh, my gracious. My gracious. I was never a dog person. I became a dog person. My parents got a dog when I was 17. And it wasn't that I disliked him. I just was like, really? One more thing in this household that's more important than me. Because again, I did not have the best upbringing. So we moved from the 3-room apartment that we lived in. There were 5 of us in a 1-bedroom, 3-room apartment. So it was a very seriously congested space. And then you bring in this dog. Really? So literally the next month we move into a house. I have my own room for the first time. And the first thing I did was told the dog, I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go. But you cross this threshold and you are lunch. I went away to college and the dog never went in the room.
No, he was like, okay, I don't want to be
outside the room. He sat outside the room and just looked like, I want to go in there, but I won't. My parents told me they tried to coax him in. They invited him. He wasn't doing it. He's doing it.
I'm not having that because I know she'll be back.
Exactly. And when I came back,
Michelle, no.
I am, yes, Michelle. And I did not know then that I am, but I know now. And he knew before me. When I became a mom, he literally was the guardian over my daughter. He didn't let you look at her, touch her, or anything unless he'd look at me, I'd nod my head and okay. But if I didn't, you better not. So I was very fortunate. From then on,
That is awesome. So let me ask you a quick question.
Of course.
With your crochet, because of how you learned, which still blows my mind, by the way, are there it does, and it probably will continue to blow my mind, because I can see, like, in my mind's eye, I can actually see you trying to, and you were probably cussing, if you're anything like me, like, you're trying to figure it out, but what lessons have you learned through, and I'm going to say knit and crochet because you do both, what lessons have you learned through that process, that learning process, that maybe has any of those learnings carried on to other aspects of your life, kind of thing?
It's funny. It's quintessentially me. It doesn't matter what you say I can't do, I can. I can't do it right now, but I believe in that 3-letter word yet. There's nothing I can't do. I just can't do it yet. That parlayed into my parenting. that parlays into the experiences I have with the families I provide care for. No, they can't walk yet, but they
she is
will.
a full-time daycare. Oh my God.
I am a full-time daycare provider, which is why when you
Wow.
mentioned you wanted to do this interview, I thought, oh my gracious, I pray she does not ask me to do something in the morning, because I can't be on camera in the morning. If you're ever in the same chat rooms that I'm in during the day, you will always see my messages the same. I am working and lurking. And
I love
90%
I am a
I am
lurker.
I'm a lurker. I'm a loud lurker, because eventually I will stop and tap, 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 and then go back to doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm a big mouth, so I'm always going to run my mouth. It's what I do.
I love that about you. I love that about you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I see determined, very
Yes,
determined.
I'm an Aries.
And I love, okay, stubborn.
Yes, but I want to give you this, Marty. You asked me what about knit and crochet has resonated with my whole life.
Yes.
It comes back not actually to this, but to a book that someone introduced me to when I was pregnant with my daughter. And the book is called The Rhinoceros Success Story.
Hold on. Where's my, okay. I gotta write that down. I'm always looking for good books.
This book may or may not be in print anymore.
The Rhinoceros Success Story?
The Rhinoceros Success Story. And I'm looking it up because, I'm sorry, bear with me, please be patient.
We are chilling like a villain. We are good. We are good.
This book, I worked for a company that shouldn't have existed. This was one of those pre-MLM experiences. There was this company called Centura Creations. They sold perfumes and colognes. They were knockoffs. And they gave these salespeople bags of perfume and cologne to go and sell on the street. And they had to have a sales team to keep these things going out. The bottles probably cost $3 a piece. They were selling them for $20 each. And I was pregnant. So I wasn't going to be selling anything. I wasn't going anywhere. However, I'm pretty eloquent. As such, I talked my way into being their receptionist, because they needed a receptionist for this particular place. And I went from reception work to being the morning motivator and managing the sales team and the whole 9 yards. So when somebody came in day 3 of having not sold a bottle, I got to talk them into going out there and trying again. So the manager of our office believed in this book. Like, everybody had to buy the book. Everyone had to buy the book. He gifted me the book, and I read this book. And in fact, it is available on Thrift Books, and it's called Rhinoceros Success: The Secret to Charging. Wait a minute, let me make it bigger so I can see it. The Secret to Charging Full Speed Towards Every Opportunity. The author's name is Scott Alexander, and the foreword is by Dave Ramsey.
What? Okay.
Yes, I struggle with some of the things I've read by Dave Ramsey, but a lot of what he says makes sense. And I can see the other guy, like John. I can't think of John's last name. Anyway, I'm a prolific reader. I love to read. Love, love, love to read. But I read that book while I was pregnant. And some of the aspects that he introduces in this book is the discussion of cows versus rhinos. Rhinos have 1-inch thick skin. Rhinos do not have peripheral vision. They only see what's in front of them and where they're going.
So they don't have to worry about the excess bull that life throws at you. You just go. I want to be a rhinoceros.
You can wake up tomorrow morning to your opportunity clock and you are a rhino. Besides, you're my sister, so you have to be. We're rhinos. We have one horn.
Unicorn.
And we will push you. Yes. Unicorns are nothing but rhinos that decided to diet.
Huh.
That's all.
Bougie rhinos, because they've got the gorgeous hair.
Exactly.
And
yes, but we are still phenomenal.
That's right. But
yes, I am so much a rhino that if I could take you into my home and show you my cocktail table, there is a rhino sitting on my cocktail table. My kids know, like, the first, you know how you have a toy that you put in your car that's your little signature thing? Mine was the rhino. Mine was the rhino. Yours is flying.
I love
Like, it's hilarious. Your thing is pigs. When my daughter used to sleepwalk as a kid, and the only way I could guarantee whether or not she was asleep or not, she talks in her sleep, and she'll talk to you, but there are certain things she cannot do. If she's awake, she answers too clearly. She mumbles when she sleeps, but she still answers. So I would say piggy, and she go piggy, piggy, piggy,
Do you
piggy.
call her Piggy?
Never, never. But she can't. The way she says piggy cracks me up. So when she said it when she was asleep, that was how I knew whether or not she was awake.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's funny. Pigs have a place in our life.
Wow, wow, wow. Yes, I've collected pigs since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Little bitty thing. When my granddaughter was born, I called her Piggy. It was a term my mother hated it. My mother hated it because in her mind it was, and I called her Fat Girl too, but it wasn't meant to be rude by any means. It was honestly a term of endearment because that little girl is amazing. Well, anyway, so I called her Piggy. That was my little pig. And when she died, when she passed away, she was 13 months old when she passed away. That's where the
Oh my
flying came from.
gracious.
Because she's my angel piggy.
Of
She's my
course.
angel
Of
piggy.
course.
Gosh, she's amazing. She's amazing. So,
My sympathy to you on your loss, by the way.
ditto.
Yeah. It
It's tough.
hits different. It hits
It
different.
does.
It changes you, and you will forever know life as the before and after.
Yeah.
Who you were before and who you are after.
Yeah. You're right. You sure enough right.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yep,
yeah.
yeah. And I think the rainbow babies give that, because there's the before and the after. But when you have the rainbow baby, it shifts even more. The after shifts even more.
Yes.
Because I know when my grandson was born, boy, look. Because I remember, like I said, you were a single mom too. You spend your whole time trading time for dollars that never stretch, right? And I told myself when he was born that I was not going to allow that to continue. Because my kids, my family, they always took a back seat because I have to work. I have to work to pay the bills. It's not something that I wish I would have been born rich instead of so damn good looking, but it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way. So, you kind of got to play the hand you were dealt. All right, cool. But, yeah, it's time to fold and move on because I'm going to another table because this one isn't working anymore. So, yeah,
It's funny you said that. I used to work at a casino.
See?
I tell people I have had so many blessings and evolution of me. I have had so many experiences. I literally am the epitome of Renaissance. This part of my life exists because that part happened.
That's right.
This person is in my life because that thing happened. And the things that have been most common in my life other than me. And mind you, I didn't always like me. But now I am so good with me. I am so good with me. But my constants have been, there's always going to be a challenge. I love a good challenge.
Embrace it.
I used to dread it. Like, what next? No, what next?
What next?
And I'm a mom. Being the mom of a rainbow child, part of me is always looking at my son thinking, this is what the other child didn't do. And since this was a child who was born still, he literally never did anything outside of my body. And the unique way I choose to approach that memory is I had 36 phenomenal weeks with him.
That's right.
We had the coolest relationship. Like, dude spoke to me before I knew he was there and said, okay, so this is my name. I was like, okay.
Right, then. Okay.
I'm good with that. But eventually he said, listen, we're never going to see each other eye to eye. And I had to accept and know that. So I knew way before anybody knew that he was never going to be a being outside of my body. And that's not easy for everybody to understand. Some people don't believe it. And that's okay. I have nothing to convince you of. Nothing.
That's right.
You could pick up what you like. You can leave the rest on the table.
That's
But
right.
that was something that I knew. I
Wow.
never, of course, because there are others around you who are experiencing your life through you. So there were things I had to do. I had to set up a crib. I had to accept certain things, but I never bought anything more than a pack of onesies and a pack of socks. One of my relatives bought the crib and all the, the stroller, the car seat. And I kept saying, you don't have to do that right now. You don't have to do that right now. I couldn't say you don't have to do that because that was an unacceptable term from me to him.
That's
but
right.
Once those things were done, the birth had happened and my experience had occurred. When I came home and those things had to be put away, my son's dad put all those things away from me. And it allowed us to adjust and address his absence during my pregnancy. It made us the best of friends after. He committed himself to helping me with my daughter, then eventually helping me with my son. So even to this minute, literally, we dated very briefly. In fact, we broke up not too long ago, not quite a year ago, almost a year ago. And just this morning, my son says, I'm going to reach out to said person because I need some information. And I said, sure, go ahead. The person reached out to him and then reached out to me and said, hey, this is what's being discussed. This is what I'm going to do. And don't worry about it. I got you covered. We don't have a relationship, but that's still the person I count because I'm still me. And I think that's why we still have a solid and positive relationship. Just because I don't have the same emotional relationship with you doesn't mean I need to do you dirty.
That's right. That's right. Wow, you are an amazing woman.
I'm just an old lady. Got my coffee sitting on my porch in my rocker.
Yeah, it's 8:00 at night. We both drinking coffee. Hello.
But that's because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. I am going to get through the diamond part of this blanket tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be looking for you in the morning.
1 minute. However, I give myself grace that if sleep says come first, then we will answer sleep because sleep says 3:45 in the morning is real.
That's right.
And that's when I get up.
That's right.
I get up at 3:45 in the morning because even though my personal passion wants to work on this blanket, I have committed myself to my audience to be available. And I have to be able to put that video together, give them some time of me crocheting, assemble all of that before 7 a.m. when the first child knocks on the door.
My goodness, girl.
During nap time, I'm sorry?
How do you do all of that? Like, how do you... Okay, so we just got on a whole YouTube kick. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. I know this is supposed to be crochet related, but she has a crochet channel. We have a crochet channel. It all works. So how do you do that? Like, what do you edit with? Do you edit? Because I don't know if you're just really good at it.
I don't really edit. I don't really edit. I edit myself in the capacity of what I say. But you'll hear me say in the beginning of my videos that, this is the coffee of the day. This is the weather that I'm experiencing. Yes, I've already done my gratitude journal.
The motivation.
My gratitude journal and the fact that I literally have scripted out what the plan is for the entire month. I am a prolific planner. I'm an Aries. I gotta be in control.
All right. See, I get that. I do. But
so I have a plan for every day for the month of September. I can tell you right now, although I don't have it in front of me, I can go to my planner right now and tell you what the tutorial video is going to be for the third Monday of September. I can tell you what book I am going to drop a discussion for on the second Thursday or the third Thursday of September. I can tell you all of that because I've planned all of those things out. I take where I have a very large TV in my room. On Saturday, I know who's coming on when, and all of that's all set. It's on autoplay. So that's playing. And I sit in my bed with my bed table, and I write out, okay, there are 31 days this month. I need to have this. On Mondays, we have a tutorial. We have a general conversation, and this is what we're going to be discussing. On Tuesday, it's Terminology Tuesday. On Wednesday, I flex between a general conversation and things that I think other people would be thinking about. What are the types of things you want to have at a market or a fair if you're new to selling your crafts? What are things I will never crochet? Thursdays is going to be, I forgot, but whatever it is, it's in my book. And Friday is Freedom Friday.
Is what?
I am free to talk about Freedom Friday.
Free to talk about whatever.
I am free to catch you up on everything I know. If I know there's going to be a sale over at Michael's or Joann's or Mary Maxim or Hirschner's or wherever, then I'm free to share that with you. And on Saturday, I film multiple tutorials simultaneously. I'm not good at making tutorials. I know this.
Me too.
Hey, I know. However, you get the gist. You get the gist. And I'm getting better. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep going.
I'm so glad you started your channel. I can honestly see you blowing up because you're comfortable to hang with. You're so comfortable to hang with, and that's what it feels like when you're watching these morning videos. I swear, it's like I'm right there on the porch with you with my little coffee cup and listening.
Did you drink your water today?
Yes, ma'am. I always drink I have to.
Very good.
Yes.
Did you eat today?
I did. I had to think about that because I forget. I forget.
See, I know. That's why I get up in the morning and remind you. Please eat. Did you have some fun today? Marty, did you have fun today?
I am having fun today. Yes, I am.
Excellent. I have another book I want you to read.
Okay.
It's The Year of Yes, and I'm trying to remember her name. Shonda Rhimes.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
She's the person who created Grey's Anatomy.
I thought that
she wrote the book The Year of Yes. And I read that book because somebody said, Michelle, I promise you she stole your book. I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, read the book. So I read, I actually listened to it because I didn't have time. I was busy doing 900 other things. And I listened to her book and I was thunderstruck. The Year of Yes, my life is yes. She just decided there was not going to be a no. Everything was yes. She was open to try new things, open to just the possibility. And that has been who I've been since as long as I can speak. Yes, I will try something different. Yes, I can. And even if I can't, yes, I can. Now, there are things I cannot do. I cannot ride a bike.
Yet.
I'm 50. No, that's a no. Because I don't fall. No, here's why that's a no. I don't fall. But I make space for others to enjoy that privilege.
Okay.
And that is a beautiful thing. It's just not for me. I don't run.
Neither.
You cannot get this substantial.
Sprint. Okay, I can sprint, but I'm not running. No, and it's going to be for this amount of time.
I don't sprint. I don't jog. I walk slowly, purposefully, and with determination.
Okay.
So no, I don't run and I don't ride a bike. And it's okay that I don't. I don't have to. I don't know how to use a sewing machine. Now that's a yes. I don't have space for a sewing machine yet. When I do, that who knows? I may turn 60 and buy a sewing machine.
I have when my mama passed away in 21, I got her sewing machine. It's this right here.
Oh my gracious.
I don't know if it works. I have not.
Is it a Singer?
It is. I'm finally starting to get things decluttered enough to where I can actually open it up and do. But yes, I will be because I love quilting. I haven't done that for, I think 2008 was the last time I did that. I haven't had a sewing machine. Wow. But I love it.
I don't know how to quilt. I had, and I believe I still have it, a person who passed through my life, toxic though they were, and I was too blind to see it. But her blessing through my life was I had the opportunity to know her mom. And her mom had this tremendous amount of pink fabric. She detested the color pink. So anything anyone gave her with pink in it, she cut the pink out. She just cut the pink out and replaced it with something else. So she had all this pink fabric. And her child came to live with me. Now, mind you, her child is 5 years older than me, but she overhears me say, "I love pink." And she sends me a king size quilt. All these different pieces of pink fabric. Oh, they were. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, this was a year and a half before she passed away.
Wow.
And I treasure that blanket. And the reason I say I don't know if I still have it is because when we moved, there were certain things that disappeared. And I don't know about that blanket because it's also so heavy. And I am a person of a particular age that being hot is not acceptable when I'm asleep.
Oh, man. Okay. And that sucks because I like the heavy. I
I
usually
do too.
used to sleep with 2, 3, 4 blankets, whatever it took to get that
To put
weight.
that weight.
I like because it's
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. It's
Yes.
calming. It gets my brain
Yes.
to shut up. Not something that happens very often. So the weight is one, but yes, the hot. We're just gonna
So you
let that
sleep with a
go right
fan on
there. I can't do that anymore.
all year long now. You have your fan on all year long now.
Yes,
I have your
absolutely.
substitute. When you're feeling chilly, use any device, whether you use YouTube or you have one of those devices that has that feminine name. I won't say the name because it can trigger other people's devices. I changed my device's name, but nonetheless, tell it to play brown noise.
Brown. Really?
Brown noise, yes. Brown noise mimics the sound of the fan without the cooling nature. You're welcome. Try it
Ooh.
tonight. I promise you, you will sleep like a baby. Twice I've almost overslept my alarm because of brown noise.
Wow. Okay.
But most of the time I don't sleep. I don't wake up to my alarm. I wake up a few minutes before my alarm goes off.
Yeah, I haven't actually had to set an alarm for a long time because my
It's the
body
opportunity
automatically
clock.
wakes up. Huh?
It's the opportunity clock.
It
I
is.
don't wake up to an alarm. Alarms are scary. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You have a smoke alarm, you have fire alarm. I don't have any of those. I have, an opportunity clock. I have the opportunity to get up and enjoy my space and my time with
That's right.
my YouTube audience now. So I don't wake up by force. I wake up because I get to.
That's right. And the crochet community has, man, they're amazing.
They've been so good to me.
Absolutely.
They've been so good to me. They gave me my sister. Hi, sis.
All right, Miss Michelle, let's go ahead and wrap this up real quick.
Okay.
Y'all, please go check out Yes Michelle Crochets on YouTube. I will make sure that I link that in the description below. But until next week, we'll see you later.
Have some fun today.